Both of these were filmed in 4K OpenGate and Apple Log 2, but one of them is the iPhone 17 Pro recording to an external SSD, total setup cost $3,000 Australian dollars, and the other is the iPhone 13 mini recording internally, and it costs just $300 secondhand. I'm not telling you which is which just yet, but by the end of this video, you'll know exactly how to transform any old iPhone into a true pocket cinema camera capable of rivaling the 17 Pro. 3 weeks ago, I would have told you that was impossible. I've been shooting on the iPhone 17 Pro since launch and love it, spending a fortune on external SSDs just to unlock 4K OpenGate in ProRes RAW because Apple blocks internal recording in that format. Then a solo developer released an app that rewrote what I thought was possible on even the oldest iPhones. It's called Log Cam, and it doesn't just close the gap between cheap older iPhones and the 17 Pro. In some way, it helps them beat it. And the reason why reveals something Apple doesn't really want you to think about. In this video, I'm going to show you exactly what this app can do and why it redefines what iPhone video can look like. You'll see real footage from Log Cam on the 13 mini shooting in ProRes, 14 Pro in HEVC 444, and how it compares to ProRes RAW on the 17 Pro. And I'll share the surprising reason why I think Log Cam beats ProRes RAW for pure image quality, even on the oldest iPhones. I'll also be upfront about the app's limitations because there are some significant ones. Let's get into it. Before I explain anything about how Log Cam is able to achieve the impossible, let's look at some comparison footage I filmed with it. This is from the iPhone 13 mini, which I just picked up on Marketplace for 300 AUD. It's capturing in 4K OpenGate and Apple Log 2 in ProRes internally. None of that is officially supported on this phone, yet Log Cam does it anyway. And here it is up against the iPhone 17 Pro in ProRes RAW using Blackmagic camera. And this is what surprised me most. In some shots, to my eyes, I actually prefer the video from the 13 mini. It's slightly softer, yet still maintains detail and looks more natural, and the color often looks richer. Video from both cameras is graded using identical settings in Resolve, just a CST taking Apple Log 2 to Arri Log C, an exposure node to match the two, and Filmbox Pro film emulation on the final node with matching settings. The only difference is I have to boost the saturation of the ProRes RAW video from the 17 Pro to 75% in Resolve to match, as it's quite desaturated in comparison. Now, here's my iPhone 14 Pro. It's recording with Log Cam in HEVC 444, a format I didn't know existed on any iPhone until 3 weeks ago, and capturing in Apple Log 2 to match my 17 Pro. Again, it has incredible color information, tiny file sizes, doesn't need an SSD, grades beautifully, and on these shots I'm using the same gloat LUT for Apple Log 2 on both phones. Once again, overall I prefer the image from Log Cam over that coming from Blackmagic camera on the 17 Pro, and as it turns out so did 100% of my channel members. I shared a blind camera test and every single person said they preferred what turned out to be the iPhone 14 Pro, incorrectly assuming it was the 17 Pro in ProRes RAW. And honestly, for most workflows, HEVC 444 is just way more sensible than ProRes RAW's massive file sizes and specialist hardware and software requirements. Not to mention SSD pricing has gone through the roof. What do you think? Do you see a meaningful quality difference between the two? Let me know in the comments. And lastly, here's an interesting test. Log Cam on the 17 Pro itself, HEVC 444 versus ProRes RAW in Blackmagic camera on the same device. Drastically smaller file sizes, no SSD required, and something Blackmagic can't offer. You're not locked into Apple Log. You can film in Arri Log C, Sony S-Log, and grade with the same LUTs you already use on other cameras. Not to mention that camera matching on iPhone 2 traditional cameras becomes effortless. For these shots, I filmed in Arri Log C in Log Cam, and I'm using Filmbox Pro for an authentic Kodak Vision 3 emulation, which treats my iPhone footage as an Arri Alexa, and the results are stunning. Across all three phones, 13 mini, 14 Pro and 17 Pro, I prefer the Log Cam footage, and the reason why is pretty surprising. It's not because of what Log Cam adds to the iPhone video, but because of what it takes away. Let me explain what I mean. Every other video app on iOS, including Blackmagic Camera, works from the same video streams Apple provides to third-party developers, a Rec 709 stream, a Rec 2020 stream, and on the iPhone 15, 16, and 17 Pro, an Apple Log stream. And by the time a video app gets access to these streams, it's already been heavily processed by Apple's image signal processing pipeline. Noise reduction, sharpening, saturation, contrast, dynamic tone mapping are all baked into the video and can't be removed. Apple Log dials back the processing and disables dynamic tone mapping, but noise reduction is still applied even in ProRes RAW. Because Apple controls these pipelines completely, it means they also get to decide not only how the video looks, but what resolutions and codecs it is available in, and LogCam is the first app that proves that these limitations enforced by Apple are not only determined by the hardware. Even older iPhones are capable of much more than Apple let on when it comes to video. So, how does LogCam do what no other video app can, like offering 4K OpenGate internally or Apple Log on devices that don't support the official Apple Log video stream? The answer is by doing something fundamentally different. Unlike all other video apps that just take the video stream Apple makes available, LogCam bypasses the standard video pipeline entirely and taps into the RAW photo stream instead, the same stream used for DNG RAW photos. Before any processing has touched it, it then transcodes that RAW image stream in real time into ProRes or HEVC at 24, 25, or 30 frames per second. The result is a completely unprocessed image in a real log profile of your choosing, Apple Log 2, Arri Log C, or Sony S-Log 3. This is why it can unlock what Apple restricts: internal 4K OpenGate in ProRes on non-Pro models, HEVC 444, and True Log profiles. And right now, it's the only app on iOS doing this. While some other apps claim to offer log video and 4K OpenGate on older models of iPhone, they just take Apple's heavily processed Rec 2020 video stream, slap a filter on it to dial back saturation and contrast, and call that log. In reality, it's just lipstick on a pig that offers zero improvements to the video quality, but LogCam is the real deal. And here's the thing that really reframes how you think about iPhones. Once you remove Apple's artificial limitations and bypass the heavy ISP processing that's actually degrading your footage, especially outside of Apple Log, it becomes very clear that while each generation of iPhone brings massive CPU and GPU gains, the actual camera sensors and optics have not advanced at the same rate, which is why a $300 iPhone 13 mini can genuinely compete with a $3,000 iPhone 17 Pro setup on pure imaging grounds. But LogCam isn't perfect, and this app isn't for everyone. Transcoding a RAW photo stream is incredibly intensive, far more demanding than standard video capture, as you're asking for up to 30 RAW photos every second, and that creates real constraints. Because of this, it means no autofocus or even manual focus adjustments during recording, no electronic image stabilization, and no high-speed frame rates. And because transcoding the RAW video stream is so intensive, it means shorter record times compared to standard video capture on the iPhone and a less stable capture experience. But for many filmmakers, the benefits LogCam offers will far outweigh the limitations. Bypassing ISP gives you a better image that's free from overprocessing, providing the freedom to dial in the perfect look in post. It even supports LUTs in the display only or recorder to a clip, so you get a video that's instantly ready to share. Not to mention the fact that it can literally transform older iPhones from a paperweight to a legitimate pocket cinema camera. So let's return to my original question: iPhone 13 mini versus 17 Pro. Can you pick which is which? This was the $300 iPhone 13 mini. This was the $3,000 iPhone 17 Pro. Did you pick it? Let me know in the comments. And even if you did, do you think it looks $2,700 better? I don't. Because as it turns out, the 17 Pro's advantage over a 5-year-old iPhone isn't really in the camera hardware, it's in better thermals and a much faster chipset. And the reason LogCam delivers what is, to my eye at least, a more pleasing image, even on inferior hardware, is because it bypasses Apple's ISP chain to deliver video that looks much closer to a traditional pocket cinema camera. If you own an iPhone 12 or later and shoot any kind of deliberate controlled video and want the best video quality possible, LogCam is probably the biggest image upgrade you can make without touching your hardware. The gap between a $300 phone and a $3,000 setup has never been smaller. The app is linked in the pinned comment, along with my in-depth tutorial on settings, capture, and grading workflow if you want to go deeper. It has never been a better time to be a filmmaker, and this app is the proof that you don't need the latest hardware to capture something genuinely stunning. If this was useful, leaving a like on this video, sharing it with someone else, and subscribing to my channel means a lot. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.